My name is Notepad Anon. That's ominous. Hello everyone, my name is Notepad Anon, I run games for fun. So what are we doing today? Today we're going to be going over Dungeon Delvers. Been a while. It has been a while since we've talked about good old-fashioned yeah, it's been a while since we've talked about Dungeon Delvers. This is my Diceless game. Well, one of my Diceless game. Odd that you're working on this game. Yeah, well, here's the thing. I sat down a little bit and I said, I've got a lot of things that are like half done. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna kind of work on some things this week and get some things done. So this was one of those things that needed to get done, and here we are. Last time on Dragon Ball Z, we were working on class abilities. Here's a secret. I worked on all the class abilities. They're all done. Troubadour, actually, well, while I'm here, I may as well write the Troubadour thing. Let's see, we want to write in some Troubadour lore. Let's see. Across 1,000 taverns and the beds of countless souls, and kicked out of both with frequency. Troubadours make up. Entertainer. Let's see, our traveling entertainers and song and each adventure then with peril. And filled with peril, danger, and maidens to save, and always a little make sure the listeners there to make sure the listeners pay attention. Let's see, the dungeon, the dungeon has proven, the dungeon is the, is the muse that beckons them, Let's see, the dungeon is the muse that beckons them. A haunting story, a single place filled with horrors, adventure, glory, and everything else that makes a good story, that makes a lovely story, or at least a memorial. Yeah, kind of the idea of like troubadours are just dumbasses. If we go off all of the, so effectively every single class that you can play has a grand total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Has a total of 8 abilities and 2 camp abilities, or 2 passive abilities. So, for example, let's take the Highlander. What's the Highlander's gimmick, you might say? You are from the Forgotten Kingdoms, with an adaptive suicidal belief in an aggressive warrior code. Effectively, they can do a leaping attack. For +2 AP to any attack action or battle ability, they can choose to leap. If they leap, it does not activate until their next turn, but they are untargetable. You literally cannot be targeted when you leap. Because, if we kind of see here, some of these are like, if you burn your entire thing, you can just decapitate an enemy and immediately kill them. So, I'm late. What I missed? Nothing much. We're just going over what the plan is. Charismatic fighters. How do you do them, please? Charismatic. Well, first things first is that you would need a car of some variety. I would suspect a Honda Civic could do pretty well. Though I wouldn't be opposed to other extreme cars, such as there's a couple of vehicles out there that I think would make a very good charismatic fighter. Charismatic fighters are a little bit different. Generally speaking, if you're keying it off if you're keying an ability off of a charisma stat, like your main combat is charisma, I guess it would be a swashbuckler type, but it would be kind of weird. I guess if you want to be really specific, in Pathfinder 2, there is a performance swashbuckler, but that's a pain in the ass to do because fucking swashbucklers in that fucking game are annoying. But yeah, don't worry, you didn't miss anything. We're just working on stuff. But yeah, no, we finished every single one of the classes. To give you an idea of how many classes there are, the class abilities start at page 42 and end at page 68. There's about 42 pages worth of just class abilities. It's pain. It really is agonizing. But let's see. So okay, so got our basic abilities here. So now we need to write in items. Items. Okay, how do we want to do weapons? As you can see, we have quite a few different items to work with. What we're going to do is we're going to open up Alona. Yes, we're going to open up Alona because Alona has a very in-depth fucking system for this. So let's just take a second and we need weapons. We need a lot of weapons. We need to get as many weapons as possible. Now, if we base this off Etrian Odyssey, if we go to Etrian Odyssey weapons, as you can kind of see here, there's a lot of different weapons, but a lot of the time they're not too complicated. You know, knife, Scaramex. Okay, I'm like, okay, all right. But how do we make this work properly? So let me think. We go to the unofficial Alona RPG. Yep. Not potions. Okay, so how do we want to do that? How do we want to do this? Part-based weapon system very listened to Zaz from Warframe, at least customized weapon. See, that's the beautiful problem child, you could say, is that the original game had damage like this. So it's like, okay, so we need to make axes. We just need to make a bunch of different axes. And like, where do you even start with an axe? Okay, let's roll it back here. I need to make weapons. So I want to do what has a good weapon list? I'm trying to think of like what's a good actually I just need a good weapon list. Give me like there's a bunch of swords, obviously. Bunch of axes. Tell me about the axes. I mean, God, son of a bitch. Splitting back. Yeah, no, I'm looking at it, I'm like, how do I want to even approach this? Because there's a lot of different ways to do it. That's the thing. If we want to do, let's think about this like this. We need grades, maybe. Like, we have... Okay, let's do... I'm gonna make weapons. Okay, so we want to think weapons. Okay, easy enough to understand. What are some metals for weapons? Well, I think the worst kind of weapon is obviously going to be copper. No one likes copper. Copper, steel. All right, steel. Let's do iron, and then steel. What's the first upgrade from steel? We've got steel. What do we go from steel? If we're thinking RPG upgrade. Titanium? I mean, you're gonna make me do this, aren't you? Elder Scrolls weapons. Tell me more about Elder Scrolls weapons. Dun, 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 na, 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 na. Let's see. Steel, rusty, orcish, iron. Fun fact, there are no dwarves. Are there dwarves in this setting? I forgot if I put dwarves in this setting. Let's see. Because yeah, okay, yeah, let's see, yeah, it's, yeah, technically there are dwarves, but they're elves. Okay, actually, here's what we can do. Alright, here's what we can do. We can do, if we want to do our very basic set of weapons. Copper, iron, steel. Then we're going to be moving on straight to titanium. Alright, titanium works. Moonstone, okay, actually, no. We call moonstone after. So copper, iron, steel, titanium. Actually, we'll do moonstone. Actually, moonsteel. Get it? It's moonsteel. It's different. Boom. There we go. No. We'll call it a star metal. There we go. Star metal. Bingo, baby. We got it. And then we would go into Imperial. How about that? So we've got our 5 basic ones. Actually, no, we can't use Imperial, can we? Fuck. I'm getting a phone call. My mom dropped the TV remote under the couch. I will be back in a minute. Enjoy the music. Okay, so we can't use Imperial, and we will use, no. So. So, the most basic tier of equipment will be this, will be the metal. We are standard metals. That, Okay. Type. Let me just double check. So this would be not gonna worry about that. Not gonna worry about that. Star metal. I've got if it's a hand axe, how do you upgrade the hand axe? You go from axe, hand axe, battle axe, chopper to a cleaver. There we go. Do cleaver, and then we do might +4. This is our very basic, like just straight down the line quality improvement. This is going to be our might +3. This is going to be 2-hand. Might +5. It's effectively you're subbing out a shield for this, and that's kind of the idea. You're subbing out another hand to wield a big axe, and we do a steel copper great axe, an iron war axe, a steel hacker. Give me new names for axes. Da da da. Yeah, Manslayer work. That's a good one. Like, the idea of these ones are like, these are your basic bitch abilities. These are our most, like, you know when you go to the store in an RPG, like a JRPG or something, or any RPG really, and you find just like the generic good axe, like you know it's high quality because it's expensive and its numbers are big, but it's never going to be quite as good as your cool magic axe or whatever. That's what this is. This is like we've hit a certain point in the adventure at this point that we are now using the Star Metal Slayer, but we really shouldn't be using it because Timmy over there has a fucking super, has a super weapon or something. Actually, we can do actually, what's tell me your heavy. Tell me the heavy weapons. What's the name of it? No, it's works. Actually, no, we do a star metal. And then we do the star metal cleaver down here, which is going to be might plus none, which is going to be might plus 10. Hyper weapon. There we go. So, effectively, the thing about it, your one-hand weapon is pretty easy. I can use it in one hand. I'm going to hit you with it. I can use it with a shield. I can do a bunch of other things with my other hand. Two-handed weapon. I've got a hand in both of my hands. I can swing this thing to hit you and kill you. Hyper weapon is the extremely massive, oversized monster hunter weapon. It is incredibly inconvenient for most people. Executioner. It's one of the things, like, this entire game, to give you an idea, Dungeon Delvers. Dungeon Delvers is a game very much about that JRPG, like, we're going through a dungeon, clearing shit out. It's also completely diceless. That is another very big thing about this game. It is that it is completely diceless. And, it does have a degree of, problems with that. Even down to the fact that, if we go over here, yeah, you can get resurrected very easily. As long as you bring back at least a vial of blood, they can resurrect you. If you bring back someone's head, whatever their level is, times 750 zennies, and that's how you could bring them back to life. Alternatively, you can always just purchase insurance. Or not only do they know you're dead, but they can resurrect you if need be. RNG how? There is no RNG. That's welcome to the amusing part. There really isn't any RNG in this game. Everything is perfect math. You know exactly how things are going to pan out, only that you don't know what the quote opponent's going to be doing. But that's not the main thing of the game, is not necessarily hacking a bunch of people to death. It is, we need to go into the dungeon, we need to get as much shit as we can, and we need to get rich. It's a very simple cycle in that regard. Like, we want to make some dosh doing things. On the other hand, do you feel no one's making money if we all die? Okay, actually with I don't even have any tags in this game, do I? Let's see. I know I don't have any. I know I don't have anything for zombies and ziggurats because of how I did that very specific way I did the weapons in that game. No sword bastards, too specific. Satan more snakeskin. Let's see. Actually, probably the best would be a BCS at this point, wouldn't it? Yeah, I guess we should look at lexicon, SRD files. BCS, we want to look at items, arms and armor. That's definitely not the right one. That's definitely not the right fucking game. We want to look at... There we are. Okay, that does not help in the slightest. Good job, me. Alright, so that's not helping at all. We need to look at... See, this is always the funny thing when anytime you're looking at game, like making various games, and you... Actually, Endless Adventure. Oh, Fear and Hunger. Ba 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 ba. Probably not you, but if we use Funger, because Funger has... Yeah, because Funger has all the weapon tags. So yeah, this would be all our weapon tags right here. So... Unironically, because I write... People don't want generic fantasy games. And because people do not want generic fantasy games, I don't usually write generic fantasy games. Because I don't write generic fantasy games, I don't have a nice, good way of just saying, here's all my generic fantasy game item list. God. I really don't have anything, do I? Now let's try... Fun fact, that version, the original draft, you might be looking at it, and it should be Dungeon Tactics. Dungeon Tactics is not the original draft, fun fact. That's what actually you can buy right now. Because, one thing to know, Dungeon Tactics, you can buy Dungeon Tactics right here. I mean, somewhere on here on DTRPG anyway. Yeah, you can buy it right here. It's $30. Don't buy it for $30. Buy it. You could buy the game for free if you really want. Yeah, everything is yeah, everything is there. It's just like, yeah. People don't want generic fantasy. Yeah. The thing is, anytime I put an idea of a fantasy game on there, it usually does not do as well for other than kind of more esoteric ideas. Not saying people don't write generic fantasy games. All right, you never got paid. I got paid 60 United States dollars. 60 USD for writing Dungeon Tactics. And this has always been kind of my thing for rewriting, quote unquote, rewriting the game. So let's do. You know, again, effectively, all Pierce is going to do is ignore armor. That's all it does. That's what I usually end up doing for these anyway. So we want to do, so we've got that. Now we got to go into the more esoteric weapons. We do, Executioner's axe. Long axe to hand. We're going to do gory with reach. Come on. And there. Giant's axe is your comically oversized weapon that is just really difficult to use because it's an axe built for someone way bigger than you. Let's see. So we want to do double-headed axe. Don't really need to worry about any of that, but let's do some bargain basement. Yeah, survival axe is going to be our bargain. Survival axe is our bargain basement. Like we have no money and we must scream. Don't worry, we're going for an eco route. That is you declaring don't worry, we're going for an eco round, everyone. Let's think of some other funny axes. I down on Dungeon Delvers. Yeah, you're probably if it doesn't say copy of Dungeon Delvers DOS Redux working, if it doesn't say that, it's not the full version. That is, I effectively got into a complete fugue state and said, wait a second, this isn't how I want to do things. And then I rewrote sections of it saying, well, this is kind of what I'm thinking of. And then the fix document became the real document. Don't ask why. Don't ask why. It's just how things go sometimes. But can the generic fantasy lolly use the giant's axe? Yes, of course she can. Anyone can use any weapon. Hatchet tomahawk. Oh wait a second. Devil axe. Yeah, don't worry, guys. Just a devil axe. Hey, no living in CTA. More or less why you tried to make a TTRPG out. It works in one, except the big crafting said ultra autistic simulationism that later. Yeah, no, it can get really deep, and that's why CDDA is really good. So by double axe, you mean that it was the idea of the double axe was literally like a axe on either side, but you want to know what we could do. Yeah, double axe, you get 2 attacks with it. Yeah, come on. You got the double axe. It does 2 attacks, because it's a double axe. Put Gory on there as well. Like, let's think of some other... At least some mid-range. Oh, We do fairy cutter. I want to go to our statistics. Mm. Mm. It's the fairy cutter. It's the what would be do we have gnomes? I forgot. Did I put in gnomes? No, I didn't put in gnomes. Always remember, everyone, fuck gnomes. Mm. Mm. Here we go. It's just the gnome chopper. Let's see. Mm. Mm. Kill gnome. Bad gnomes. Oh, chain axe, not a chainsaw. I normal axe on chain. There we go. I like that. You know, we could even make chain axe a cutting weapon. Yeah, have no fear. Here's our cunning weapon, a chain axe. Mm. Mm. Effectively, the main thing with this game is that since all the math is technically perfect, there's no idea of like, oh, well, this axe does 1d12 damage. So it's like any kind of thing needs to give the axe something a little bit more unique to it. And that's why I'm like, I'm just adding a bunch of different axes and things just to be like, hey, do you want an axe that does something goofy? And like, here's the different cost points. Here's this. Actually, I should put in, the blessed cleaver. The main gimmick of this game is the number of stuff that you have. Therefore, we need to make sure that people have a lot of stuff. Let's see. Mm. Mm. Oh. Mm. Because we have to make sure that everyone gets a. Because you get things like these. These weapons are just a notable increase in attack power. It's you're getting stronger. Here's a weapon to compensate you getting stronger. These ones are kind of gimmick weapons. Here's an axe with reach. Hey, you're specialized in two-handed axes. Here you go. You get everything with reach now. Hey, you want to do an insane amount of damage? Jade Giant's axe. It's unwieldy and it's going to probably kill you, but you can. Hey, you have no fucking money because you burnt it all on coke and hookers? Here's a survival axe. It's not going to be good, but you can afford it. Hopefully. And then we get things like this, with like fairy cutters and gnome choppers, when it comes to, hey, you can use Arcana for it. Which, Arcana is a different stat, where a character with high Arcana may want to get a fairy cutter instead of a iron battle axe, because the fairy cutter is going to do more damage overall. So it's kind of like, okay. Everything needs a specific use case. Exactly. And making a boatload of just random ass gear is funny. Of just like, yeah, here's just stuff. You want stuff? Not necessarily good stuff, just stuff. Okay, we want to do like here's all your useless bullshit. Why do you have this, shopkeeper? Because like, well, I want to make money off of you. Please let me make money off of you. Mm. 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 Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm. Actually, always give swords a little bit extra damage, because a little bit extra damage goes a long way. And that's usually my usual gimmick is like axes get the ability to go through armor, and they usually get gory, which is like, I'm something bad's going on if I get hit by gory. Like if I use this one, gory is I ignore half your physical resistance. Sometimes it's going to be like resisting a certain attack. Sometimes it's going to be piercing certain abilities. There's a bunch of things that go on there. Let's see. So then it would be, if we're going with a great sword. Mm, 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 mm. What would be a good word for a... Yeah, that reminds me. That reminds me, I need to check out all of... I forgot to note something. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs, give me all your stuff. Da, 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 da. There we go. Ooh, I forgot to talk about edge damage, didn't I? Okay. Okie dokie then, we need to do some more changing. Oopsie doopsie. Okay, we gotta do some changing. I already wrote things in. It's been a few months since I looked at this. Let's see. So, let's see. Great Axe. If we want to do... Oh, geez. Yeah, we gotta get rid of it now. Okay, let's take a second here and think. Actually, let's get rid of you. We get rid of you. Mm. Okay, so let's take a second. Great Axe. Copper Great Axe is might +3, so it's actually going to be might +6. If it's might +6, that means hatchet edge 3. That means it's going to be hatchet, which is 3, 4. 6, so that would be 6. 12. Do we have anyone with a hyper weapon? No, we do not have anybody with that. So, okay. That means we've got this correct. If we want to be, you start off there. Executioner's Axe means you need to be... Give ourselves a little bit of extra room by doing that. Cool, cuckoo, choo-choo. So this brings us back over here. We select all of this. We put you here. The Bratty Toaster Diaz. Let's see. Hatchet, hatchet, hatchet. Everyone's got a fucking hatchet. I'm okay with everyone having a hatchet. Dagger does might +1, does edge damage. This would be the cobblestone sword. Cobblestone sword does might +4, blunt damage, actually. Oh, it does edge, actually. Oh, why does it do edge damage? Why do I say these two things to myself? Okay, so we do that. This would then go into that, which would be might +5, 6, might +7, edge, edge, edge. Yeah. Local streamer doesn't look at chat. Yeah. Souls of Steel. I like Souls of Steel. There you go, bud. Oh, Jesus. Let's see. Notepad, what is your opinion on titles that have an and, or an ampersand in them? I remember hearing that at a certain point if a project has an and in it, is destined to suck. Also, I've been workshopping the name for one of my games. The best I've come up with is Iron Hearts and Steel Stoles. What do you think you need to sound? What does it sound to you? Well, generally speaking, I just improvise names. It makes everything sound fine. Generally speaking, if you ever have to put an and with a lot of different words, put an ampersand instead of the and. It makes life a little bit easier. There you go. Bingo, baby. Hopefully you heard all that. Even funnier if you didn't. Well, the Copper Greatsword does 7 damage, so this would be... Steel Massive Blade. Actually, why don't we just call this by hand? Mm. Oh, chopper. Mm. We just got hit with like 3 ads. Did you get the answer to the kid? Yeah, yes. Also 2 more massive swords. Okay, we need 2 more massive swords. Technically we do. We need to get some hyper weapons in here. Luckily, there's a couple different varieties of hyper weapons. We do need to bring in the chicken chopper. Because yes, I do have a weapon called the chicken chopper, which is a might plus 10 weapon. Yes, welcome to my awesome sword, the chicken chopper. Mm. Mm. Horse slicer. Mm. 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 What's bigger than a mountain? Mm. What does your sword look like? To give you the idea of a hyper weapon, these things are supposed to be comically oversized. And only really one class is ever incentivized to get into hyper weapons. And that's the Ward Blade. Because the Ward Blade's entire gimmick is having a giant sword and nothing else. Nobody's trying to make triple and quadruple enters? I don't know what you're talking about. Entenders? Okay, now we start getting into goofy weapon. Now to get into goofy weapons. Let's see. What would be actually no. Actually, yeah, technically the noble does not have anything good. That is always the thing you must remember. The noble's entire gimmick is that they suck. Except they have a bunch of things to give them bonuses. They give all their bonuses to other people, including having an ability which saying, hey, wait a second, that actually worked and instantly killing an enemy. Like, hey, wait a second, that's not supposed to work. I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, yeah, of course I do. I'm a fucking genius. Let's see. Where would be some other swords with gimmicks? Is a hyper dagger just a sword? No, there's a dagger. A hyper weapon is literally any weapon that is bigger than the person using it. And that's the thing, is that there's a lot of actually what we should do is Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What would be some other good? Double entendre? No, not double entendre. It's just the fact that you're saying it was a quadruple entendres and then an entendre. Like I'm on someone named Tundra. Dick joke, dick joke, dick joke. Everything is a dick joke if you try hard enough, kings. What would be some other funny soup? What would be some other funny swords? We already got the chicken chopper. We don't need to worry about the chicken chopper anymore. What kind of weapon do you have, chicken chopper? Got anything else? Nope. Got a chicken chopper. Technically, there's also guns in the setting. Yeah, I forgot there's actually just a fucking gun in this setting. Yeah, that's the alchemist key thing, is they want to just bring a pop gun to a fight. Bleed for me. We want to go down to bleed. You can fixing the bleed. Let's see, do we have anything? Neat. Do you want to put down as you are marked and where was the other? It was there we go. Yeah, hey, take the Shining Holy Blade. Why are you taking a Shining Holy Blade? Because you're exposed and marked. Go get him, Chief. Zweihander. Okay, we can put out a Zweihander. We all love Zweihanders. Let's see. Now, here's a question. Would you consider a Zweihander a two-hand weapon, or would you consider it a one-hand weapon? Actually, a hyper weapon, I should say. Let's make it a two-hand weapon, and let's say it has... it just has Executioner. That's the entire gimmick. Ow. Entertain, insert... Little joke I picked up from Gauging Goomba when it came to Spanish. Entertain, insert in Spanish translation. Chicken can also mean male genitalia. There's also a slang in chickenist, the chickenist standing next to the road. There's the chicken that you kill for dinner, and then there's a yellow belly chicken coward. Zweihander is a hyper weapon in game definition. Yeah, it's just like, what would you consider a Zweihander? Would you consider it a giant comically oversized weapon, or would you not? Yeah, let's make it a hyper weapon. It's got Executioner. Pretty much what I'm thinking of Executioner does is that if you manage to kill the enemy, with an Executioner weapon, you refund the AP you spent on it. Actually, we can make it worth the chicken chopper then. So if you spent 3 AP attacking with it, you kill them, you get your 3 AP back and can take another action. What are some other silly weapons? Come on, don't you want to use your Richard's amazing expanding sword? Come on, use the amazing expanding sword. Let's see. So we would want to do. What would be some other? What would be some other? Actually. Action check. The exaggerated bravado of a. Dun 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 dun. Don't worry about that. Combat in the dungeon. Action points. Reaction. Go. Let's see. So, ooh. So we can probably get in three more weapons. Let's think. There we go, the hunk of steel. It just does blunt damage because it's barely even a sword at that point. Sweet home Carolina. Yeah, so we go to the mace now. Have the mace now. I'm going to give you a secret what the mace is going to be. We have the cudgel and we have the stick. So, first things first, wooden stick. Blunt. The cudgel. Let's see. The cudgel is blunt 3, which is going to be might plus 3. Blunt stun 1. Does stun 1. Let me double check what stun does. There we go. Inflicts stun. What does... Now let's go down here, which would be the heavy mace. Which would have... then we put stagger in here. Have to do the Did I call the big fucking hammers? Oh, it's the... Actually, no, we can do... Effectively, we would need the might plus. Two. Got the gravity hammer. What would be a good... What's a good name for a big hammer? Like a really big hammer. Like a comically oversized hammer. What would be a good name for a comically oversized hammer? Like just something big, something too big. Like, why are you as big as you are big? Meat hammer. Sledge maul? Look at a sledge. Let's see. Sledge. Let's see. We got meat hammer, sledge maul, sledgehammer. Actually, you know what we can do? Let's put the Juggernaut Crusher here. We'll do might plus 13, blunt, hyper. And then we would put the... We put the Grand Sledgehammer here. Then we do the Meteor Mallet. The Meteor Mallet. Actually, yeah, Meteor Mallet into the Gravity Hammer into the Juggernaut Crusher. There we go. Then we do the... Demolisher does not stun. Finger of the God Hand, because fun fact. Because one of the big religions of the game of the Holy Nation is the God Hand, otherwise known as a bunch of things that seem vaguely appropriate for the time. They're all worshipped by elves, so an elf is using the Finger of the God Hand. We can even make 12. No. Let's see, do we have anything fun and exciting that we could put into the... what would be another good option here? Let's think. I want to... Tetsubo should work. I mean, that's Tetsubo. We can make that a... We can make that a +7. We do that blunt. We do that two-handed. Make that a two-hand weapon, and we give it... We don't give it stun, knockback and stun. We give it knockdown. We give it knockdown and stagger. So you... Effectively, the entire thing is you're trying to drag them on their feet. You go bang and you get knocked on your ass. We don't have a flail, actually. I guess we can put in a flail. Everyone likes flails. Pierce 3 with the idea that it's kind of going around your armor a little bit because it's kind of an annoying thing. Let's see. Do we want to put in anything fucking weird when it comes to maces? Nothing I can think of at the top of my head. Then we start making staves. There are not going to be many staves in this world because staves are not actually that extensive. Actually I should say staves and spears. Ooh, delete all these rows. Let's double check up here. We need to bring in the wooden staff. So, what is this? Wooden staff. Height +2, blunt, 2-hand. A wooden staff doesn't even, I don't believe, if I remember correctly, the magician doesn't even have training in his own weapon. Let's see, you have magician has ironwood staves. And if I go all the way up to the various equipment, it counts as a staff. It becomes an ironwood staff. Do I not have any spears in here? I don't have any spears. It would be an ironwood. It would be an ironwood stave. It would be an ironwood. It'd be Verd. There we go. Not very good because goldenwood's expensive. But then we go to let me get started on staves. You can't have a hyper flail. No hyper flail. That just sounds silly. We can't have hyper flails. That would be ridiculous. It would be called a super flail. It would be might plus, we'll play might plus 9. What do you have? Here's my super flail. I swing around like a moron. There we go. Here's my super cool ability where I fucking kill myself. Halberd would be a good. Actually, we can do halberd, and but we put unwieldy. It would be. Apprentice staff. Magician staff, the Arcana plus 5, blunt, wood, magical. Arcana plus 7. Hyper flail weed whacker. Don't worry, everybody. We can totally win the day. Oh no, the wizard's been brained. Don't worry, everyone. I've got my super flail. Sclam, sclam, sclam. Again, if you want to see a hyper, all I'm saying is if you want to see a hyper flail in action, this is a hyper flail. This is a super flail in action. It's just one of these fucking idiots. Imagine one of these guys swinging around with a giant flail. There you go. That's the real Kino that we're in. Lotus went to Orange server from there, from my server. Like, remember that, Wuso. What do you mean he's terminal? Like, what is he saying? Something you don't know? Yeah, okay, Lotus has bad opinions. News at 11. Ah, fuck. What would be now. Okay, let's see. Axis, Mesa, Staves, exotics. Okay, now we start getting into exotics. Exotics are kind of as they sound. Kind of exotic weapons, for various reasons. Let's see. So, if I want to create an exotic weapon, and I mean weird shit, like shit you wouldn't think about. And let me bring up, let's think of, what would be some unconventional weaponry? Pain search called Eureka 7. I've been delving into a bit of pain search. Called Eureka 7. What do you mean? It's Eureka 7. Yeah. Eureka 7's a weird anime. Very 2005. I liked it when I watched it. It had a different vibe than I was expecting. I was expecting, like, super hyper cool anime bullshit. I got Eureka 7 and things got weird. Things got really weird. Let's see. The Warframe glaive? I'm not gonna search this up and see porn, aren't I? Oh, what the fuck is that? That's not a glaive. Last time I checked, that's a throwing blade. Huh, that's... Huh. It's a throwing blade. It's called Glaive and Krull. Oh, geez. We're probably going to put that on exotic range. Hell, I can probably put it under thrown weapons, to be honest. Let's see. I mean, there's got to be something. So, okay, those we got Prime. Actually, Bro, aside from the vanilla stuff we all know and love, you can make an entire game out of exotic weapons. Pretty much. It's kind of the idea of the one thing about this is Imperial. An Imperial weapon is effectively it is a weapon made by the old Empire. The old Empire was effectively reality-distorting super wizards that the only reason they lost was because they killed themselves rather than, suffer the risk of getting sieged out. And all dungeons are, the reasons why dungeons reset constantly and why more shit pops into dungeons all the time is because it's Imperial tech. They literally, it just self-replicates. Because it's like really hyper advanced bullshit that doesn't make any sense because they're all magic weirdos. Gunblade. I like Gunblade. Actually, no, it would be bang, 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 pull my trigger, bang, 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 pull my devil trigger, no, 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 no. We can't call it a lightsaber, but we can call it a light blade. Wands are... the thing is, a wand is an actual thing in setting. You can get a wand. All a wand is a focus for magic. That's all that it is in setting. I'm trying to think of melee exotics. That's the thing right now. Oh, a fan's a good idea. I like that. I like a war fan. War fans are very nice. Confused. Battle yo-yo. Yeah, I can do that. Battle yo-yo. I can work with battle yo-yos. God damn it, why do you keep hitting me? Oh god, why do you keep hitting me? Why do you keep hitting me? Oh god, why do you keep... Imagine getting beat to death with a yo-yo. Like, just you fucking mad. Oh fucking, that one shield in Elden Ring, the one with the cannon on it. Actually, Mm. 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 Okay. So we do that, and then we select all of you. Having played too much Smash Bros. Against Nesgoon. Nesgoon, I know exactly what it feels like to get battered to death with a yo-yo on fire. Like, yeah, just imagine you're a proud super orc and you're super cool and awesome, and then some dumbass shows up and yo-yos you to death. Like, how do you go, like, how do you respond without sounding angry? You don't. You don't sound angry. You sound fucking infuriated the entire time. Some weird ass ranged weapons. Boomerang. Oh no, there's a boomerang. Hey, you can't just keep throwing boomerangs at people. Boomerang. Hey, that's not very fair. You can't throw a boomerang at everybody. Playing guilty could work. God. Ah, that would be execution. There we go. It'd be an all or nothing our execution move. Do any of you get anything fun and exciting? Of course you do not, because that would be too funny. That would be far funnier than it should be. Let's see. Technically, if we want to be correct. Effectively, an energy gun goes bzing, and you do 18 damage to someone. Doesn't do anything more, doesn't do anything less. You go bzing, and someone gets shot with an energy gun. There's one problem, is you have to spend a camp phase. You have to spend one of your actions during camp doing the energy, fixing, recharging your energy gun. Energy blade, like a wave motion. Actually, There we go. Not perfect, but it'll serve for now. But now we have to do bows. Bows and arrows. We love bows and arrows. Bows. And because we love bows and arrows so much, we're going to go all the way up here. Check here. Bows and arrows, short bows are 5. Let me double check the training. Would be just A. This requires martial training. What are we looking for? For bows. I guess we can call it like a hunting, like a hunting bow. We just make it not very good. It's just it's effectively our econ round bow. It's like, yeah, here's your eco bow. It's just a hunting bow. It's not an actual like real weapon that you should be bringing with in the field with you all the time. Actually, I mean, I guess here's a question for the crowd here. What do you call a sling? Would you call a sling a thrown weapon, or do you call it a bow? I'll let the floor take it. Like, where do you put the sling? I guess you would put it under bow, right? This is not really a thrown weapon, really, right? A sling would be the end point of a throwing weapon. Ranged. Yeah, you see the problem. You can't just call it a ranged weapon. That's not a thing. Would you put it under bows? Or would you put it under thrown weapons? I guess you would put it under thrown weapons, right? Right? Do you agree with that? Yeah, fuck. Put it on. So, let's actually see what I was looking for here. So actually, so bows, this would be, okay, I go zing, I pull back my bow and arrow. What am I doing? To shoot a monster in the face with my bow and arrow, I have a... I guess that's nothing too exciting in the bow category. Bows are nice and reliable and they do their job, but you don't really need to do anything too much more with them. I guess we could add in another monstrous bow. Actually, we can do a... So, crossbows. Crossbow! I got some crossbows! So let's just do, like, our standard, like... a basic hand crossbow. I would say that's going to be cunning +3. It is a edge weapon, and we would just require martial training with it. And it has reload. It's got reload 2. It takes 2 AP to reload the thing. Then we do Holy Bone Picker. Demon Hunter. Mm. 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 Actually, Demon Hunter, a Dragon Hunter, Dragon Hunter, So, unwieldy, reload 6. Takes 6 AP to reload the fucking thing, but you do a boatload of damage with it. What are we working with here? What other kind of crossbow are we thinking about? I guess, we can put an element. Actually, what we can do is... Yo. Of course, the Kitsune would want to do that. 6 AP to reload. That's the same as in Battle Brothers. To Ballista, bringing a Ballista down with you into the dungeon. Oh man, don't worry guys. Let me bring my hyper flail and my fucking Ballista with me. Hey man, do you think you can bring something a little lighter? We still need to bring stuff up. Be like, what are you talking about? I feel great. Chunk. This is feeling great. Ka-chunk. Have no fear. Let's see. Do we got anything else big and exciting? Actually, you know what we can do? We can do, there we go. When in doubt, always add the eco round. Okay, so that brings us to guns. Now, the thing is, all the guns in setting are technically alchemical in nature. That's the idea. Because if we really think about it, what is a gun if not just an alchemical contraption? And if we go here, we need to do the lowest tier gun is a pop gun. Here, let me double check what the pop gun does. The pop gun does arcane damage. Let me remember what the fucking thing is when it comes to training. Pistols, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it's pistols, rifles, and cannons. To load the hyperflail into the ballista, peasants. Have no fear. Ka-chunk. Congratulations, Daniel. You've successfully created the first instance of chain shot. Let's see. Again, we got the Ocelot revolver. The entire idea is that you're supposed to reload, the thrill of reloading in combat. Then we have. We can even do that. Anytime you fire one, you just gotta burn a one to reload. They're not very efficient. That's why you should have 2 of them. We are looking for hello phone. What's poppin'? Actually. I mean, let's see. There's gotta be like the arquebus. Okay, maybe not grand rifle. Joyce. No. Wands. We look into wands, we see that the stick starts with a stick wand. Stick wand is not very good. Plus 3 damage. Right, let's see. Let's see. Wooden wand. Mm. Checks. Mm. Mm. Actually, no, there's a thing I want to do. So we want to do our basic stick one. This is going to be arcane. This is going to be arcane. This is going to be plus 5, arcana plus 7. This would be, if I get this correctly, if I'm doing this correctly, this would be crystal and interlocked. Mm. 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 Tell me about your elements. What did I do with my element? I forgot about my elemental damage, didn't I? 'Cause I'm silly. I forgot about my elemental. I forgot to put in elemental effects. Because I'm a dumbass. Oh, jeez. Oh, no. Does it ping? Make one might one for the meme. So we need to do There's actually a very specific thing I need to do here. I need to double check something. I know how to do it. It's gonna be a pain. If we want to do a silly one, the right one, otherwise known as as well as the might. It just does might damage, and it stuns. That's all that it does. There we go. You silly gooth. Exactly. So if we want to do all the thrown weapons, so thrown weapons would be, okay, let's do thrown weapons. What time is it? Jesus, it's nearly midnight. We've been working on nothing but weapons. Rock. Da 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 da. Let me remember what the rock fucking does, cause yes, throwing a fucking rock is a valid tactic. Rock does blunt one. Mm. Mm. You understand why I didn't want to work on this game, by the way. I hope you all understand this. Why I'm like, well, why don't you want to work on Dungeon Delvers? This is why. Mm-mm. I don't even have throne training, do I? Forgetting something I fucking knew I was forgetting something. I mean, is it really that bad? All your thrown weapons can fire with this. Dungeon Delvers is quite literally just it's just a dungeon crawling game based on games like Etrian Odyssey. Go in, do some fun work, get the hell out, completely diceless. Fun fact though, if you want to know where the basis of some of Project Sidewinder's things came from, it's from Dungeon Delvers. I'm not really even going to be like, time to actively pitch someone on it. There really isn't. It's just Dungeon Tactics, the original game I wrote, wasn't very good, so I decided to make this game better. That's literally it. There is nothing more. There's nothing more exciting than just saying, yeah, there was. I wanted to do things. I wanted to make the game better than what it originally was, so here it is, being better. And, it's like, wow, there's a lot of stuff that needs to be written, just a ton of things. And when you get a ton of things, and when you get a ton of things going on, you realize that I gotta write them all down. The ultimate sin of every single thing in this beautiful world of ours is that eventually you're going to have to be forced to write everything. And you're like, damn. Mm. 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 Yeah, it's like, if you ever want, here's a secret for all you would-be game designers out there. The absolute hardest part of any piece of game design is when you have to do shit like this. Unironically, it's when you have to do the busy work section of the game, where it's just, how much damage does this do? How much damage does this do? Does this do this much damage, or does it do this much damage? Does it do this? Does it do that? And then it's like, when you realize you have to write like 50 weapons, it's like, okay, this is going to be forever. Because you start wanting to do other things than write the 50 weapons. And then you're like, can I justify not writing 50 weapons? And then it's over. Like, you realize that it's so fucking jover. It barely even began. I know for a fact I'm going to have to go through here and double check some things because I know this isn't right. Something about this isn't clicking right. I do kind of like the fact that it's just like, yeah, you don't got to worry about throwing weapons. You just can do it. So that. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. I am going to stop streaming now, because I need to look at all of this and realize I did something wrong. Do I know what I did wrong? I don't know yet, and that's bothering me, because something is wrong here, and I don't know what it is. And because I don't know what it is, it's going to keep haunting me. How much damage does this do? What does damage do these use? Is there a variety of ammunition types for it? What do they do? Blah. Yeah, it is legit. It's not fun. Like, this is what if you ever want to see me get blunted when it comes to an RPG, if you ever want me to get blunted on a project, it is when I have to do this. When it's write 800 weapons. Why? Because I have to write that number of weapons, and because the entire modus operandi of Dungeon Delvers is the acquisition of stuff. And it's like, cool, this is horrific in every single way, and I am slowly losing my fucking mind. And it's not saying like, oh, it's bad or anything. It's just like, that's just something you gotta accept when it comes to writing certain games. That your mind kind of, I don't know, your mind begins to enter flux, and things stop making sense eventually. And then you look at it and you're like, I remember you. You're like, I want to kill myself. You're playing D&D, so no. Resident Evil Revelations. Well, I mean, like, Dungeons and Dragons, no. Etrian Odyssey. We're playing Etrian Odyssey here? I think we rated you already. We can't rate someone twice. That's silly. Your brain hates busy work, Lamau. Yeah, and that's what it is, really. It's busy work. And once you realize that you have to do the busy work, the best way I can always describe it. Remember back in school? Remember back in like high school? And the teacher was like, you must read this book. And then you're like, wow, this is the worst experience in the world. And this is the worst experience I've ever had when reading a book before. And then it was funny, because some of those books I read later. I read some of those books later, and I enjoyed them because it was on my time to do something. It wasn't busy work. It wasn't just work to do something. It was something enjoyable that I chose to do. And, like, that's why I have the lexicon, unironically. If anyone, like, you know, sometimes people see, like, oh, that's kind of a hack thing to have. The lexicon is quite literally a entire collection of just off-brand mechanics I've just taken over time and just kind of, like, spliced in and out. Like, even some of these need to get like, reworked eventually, just so I have, like, a fantasy list of weapons. Do you realize how difficult it is to just get a list of fucking weapons? It sucks. It is awful. Let's see. Why does every VTuber have, like, the head patting thing? Like, am I weird thinking that it's odd that people have, like, the head catting, like the head patting thing? Like, everyone has that, even when you don't think it's that, like, oh man, that's kind of weird, but like everyone has the same head patting emoji thing. Am I the odd one? Maybe I am. Hello, WVT. It's been a while. Let's see. Let's see. Do we got anyone? Low Pottle, Tanya. Who the fuck is Tanya? Tanya. Who's Tanya? I don't know. One of you, Tanya? You should post the link. Dun 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 dun. Nobody's posted links. Let's see, that was 2 hours ago. You are probably not streaming, ma'am. Ma'am, you are probably not streaming. Neat person. Haven't watched him in a while. Frosted Fricks. The Kirsch is streaming. Yeah, it's you never realize how valuable like an index is or something that you can just reference. God damn it, Spartan. You keep fucking with me. You keep bamboozling me, Spartan. Why do you keep doing this? Let's see. I mean, Kirsch is streaming? What? Can we even do Kirsch? Is she too big for us? Here, it's only 634 streamers. Dare we raid the funny... Dare we raid based Fox? Dare we with our sick 5 viewers? Yeah, we can do that. Fuck it. We got 5 viewers here. Yeah, 5 whole viewers. Yeah, don't worry. Let's just raid. Like, hey, hello, raider. Remember, we got 5 people here being like, we get like the shit post with Tiger Ball, and we just leave. We just fucking bolt. I get my high here. Like, that's all that matters. I get my high. There we go. I got nothing better to do in life. It's funnier this way, kings. It's funnier this way. All right. We are away. Godspeed. Good luck. You know the rest.